We're about to find out which civilization Count is about to use. We all know Armycore is going to pick Oranos. It's all down to
Ra.
this. Oh, he's going to pick
Ra.
Ra. All right.
Yeah,
So,
we practiced before these games.
and Armycore said he's already not happy that he's picking Ra. He knows what's coming.
I doubt.
Okay, let's see what map we get here.
Water hole.
Oh, a Ra advantage. So here at the bottom of the map we have Count Von Count in red playing Ra, and at the top of the map we have Armycore playing Oranos in blue. So what can you say about these players here that we got?
Lorenzo, you should start first.
Yeah, go ahead, Lorenzo.
I think Armycore is overall a little bit better, but I think this particular matchup right now, Ra versus Oranos on Watering Hole, favors the Ra player, especially if there will be a back gold. Like if there's a back gold below the town center over here, below his second town center, that would be a very large advantage. But even if there isn't a safe second gold, like a mine that's directly considered to be safe, because it's so far in the back, then it will still be a pretty nice map. Also, with all of the water streams and the little moats, they naturally wall off your trade route, so it's a little bit easier to set up trade on this map for the Ra player, and actually also for the Oranos player, but obviously trade is more important for Egyptian players. There's quite a bit of hunting, which I think, I don't really think that favors anyone in particular. Ra can get his build order going pretty easily, due to like the hunting dog starts into the 2 town center start if he so desires, or he could just get up his second monuments fast. But similarly, the Oranos player can hunt pretty easily as well, and also has a lot of hunt. It will be interesting to see what god Count von Count is going to pick in Classical Age, because I think both are viable. However, if he picks Bast and he wants to race with a lot of Sphinxes, then on this map obviously the water naturally walls off apart, and walls will accompany that.
Right.
So
now,
I don't know if Sphinxes are really the best way to go. So I think he realizes that as well, and I think he's going to go Ptah. So that's my take on the situation.
speaking of the water lanes here, I think it's still too early to tell, but normally it's a good map for Egyptian, but it is also very highly dependent on his gold mines and how well they are behind the water wells here. Now, I just want to show everybody here what these players been through. So we had Armycore, who played Kai, beating him 2-0, and Count just advancing now, beating Redo 2-0. Now they're playing for the quarterfinal, playing against Mista in the next round. So obviously this is a very important match. Mista, top. What
Okay,
would
now,
you
first of
do
all,
as Ra?
the town centers
Yeah.
look really balanced. So in the middle, there are gonna be a lot of fights, but I doubt Count wants to take a town center in the middle. So we will probably see Von Count moving towards the middle after he gets Osiris. My best guess is that he was going to go. As you can see, he doesn't have hunting dogs, so he's probably going to go for a fast Ptah into the shifting sands and then a town center. Now, from what I see from those players scouting the map, Armycore's base is resources placement is a lot better, and the water sides. You can see in the top right left corner, Armycore has a gold mine and 2 elephants next to his town center. And if a Count can had that kind of map, it would favor Count more than it actually favors Armycore right now. I predict a really fast shifting sands from Count. He's already up with Ptah. His Pharaoh is going towards Armycore's base.
Right.
He has 9 villagers on gold, which probably means that he wants to get a lot of gold to get a town center really, really fast. Yes, that's my first guess. These fields that we.
So you think he essentially is going to be doing shifting sands to get his TC? You don't think he'll do a shifting sands on Armycore's main TC for, you never know, a villager rush perhaps?
I doubt he wouldn't be gathering so much gold. Actually, he would be gathering a lot more gold if he was going to do that. And he would have a monument to get that upgrade. I doubt he's gonna do that.
Now, in terms of strategy execution on Armycore's side, what do you think is the best preference for him in response?
Armycore is doing exactly what he needs to do at the moment. Can you see the way he placed his buildings and the walls? Basically makes his base dependent from any kind of harass, early harass. Now the thing is that Armycore should have, not Armycore, Count should have predicted that since Armycore is not aged at 4 and 30, he's gonna be aged at 4, 5 and 5. And that means that he should have rammed inside the base. There was gonna be
He should have harassed earlier, you're saying?
Yeah, he should have rammed in the base, not to try and stay running around with his pharaoh, and he should shift those oracles. Actually, no, it's better to keep the shifting sands. It might be more useful later on. But he did some damage. The damage it's mainly economical, and Armycore is getting his town center already.
Yeah,
So
idle
does,
time
Count
is
as
also considered economic damage.
What did you say, Lorenzo?
Idle time on villages is also
Yeah,
economic
that's what I
damage.
meant.
You don't
That's what
necessarily have to
damage
kill
did.
them or ship them.
Basically, he forced Oracle heroes, and that's something really bad to do when you're playing defensively. You don't want Oracle heroes early on. Don't you agree, Lorenzo?
What's that?
You don't want Oracle heroes so early on, unless you're doing some kind of pressure on your opponent.
Well, the reason why he made his heroes into oracles is because he was expecting a shifting sands rush, which if you look at the placement of the buildings, that kind of tells you that he was expecting that. And I think that's why he pulled the oracles back to valor them. I don't think it was for any other reason than to defend against a possible shifting sands rush.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That Count forced him into the oracles, and that's not good. It's bad for.
Yeah, that's an advantage
Armycore.
for Count.
If only Count had the relic that Armycore has for the towers. That relic is so OP for Egyptians.
You know what I
it's a good
noticed?
relic.
I noticed that Count has a nice back TC. I mean, that TC is in a perfect placement. He's got 2 elephants there, and the other elephant that he just killed is still at 700 food, a massive 700 food. He doesn't have hunting dogs, however. Why
Count
do you
forgot
think?
his monument. He forgot his monument.
Why do you think Count is not researching any ups? He's got no hand axe, no pickaxe, no hunting dogs. What's going on here?
Well, from what I see, basically I don't know what Count is doing. He's making a lot of mistakes. For example, check the gold mine. His villagers are really in a really bad position. They're not gathering as efficient as he can gather. He also made 2 barracks, which is logical, but he delayed everything. I don't know why he did that. I mean, in the games that he played earlier, and I was observing him and I was giving him tips, he didn't do this type of mistakes. He was way more solid than this. I mean, he delayed his wood gathering by a lot. He delayed barracks by a lot, and he did a lot of mistakes that he shouldn't have done. I mean, there was no pressure from Armycore, so you don't have an excuse for making this type of mistakes.
Right.
I also didn't like his starting build order without the hunting dogs, because when you're not doing any hunting dogs, you're supposed to advance really quickly. But I think he got a little bit under 430, and you can actually get that with hunting dogs as well. You will have a much better economy. So I just want to point that out, that this is a bad build order unless you are advancing much faster.
I'm sure he didn't. I talked to him about this, and I told him to not take hunting dogs, mainly because your build is not meant for you to hunt after your first starting hunt. So by taking the hunt a little faster, but you still get the same hunt, the same amount of food. You take exactly the same amount of food. because it only affects your gathering time. It doesn't affect your drop-off. So by not taking hunting dogs, you save that extra 100 wood and 100 gold.
Yeah, but if you're gathering a set amount of food much quicker, then you can use less villages and you can use the other villages to gather something else.
But you only need the villagers to gather there up to the time where you ate up. Then you just need gold to take the TC and food to make villagers.
Okay, so at this point right now in the game, all right, and sorry to interrupt here, but I just want to know what's happening. What's the next move for Count, and what's the next move for Armycore? Mista, please go ahead.
Well, Armycore is going to Heroic. He's
Okay.
probably going to go for some type of fast Titan,
Yeah.
or for some type of fast Tartarian gate, and basically that's his plan, and that's what he should be doing in this map.
Okay.
It's not really easy to push in the RA player.
And what's the
So-
next move for the RA player in this case?
The RA player needs to get all the economical ups, stabilize his economy and his position in the map. Like, it's obvious that your opponent is not making units, because if he had units, he would use those units to enter that gap that he previously entered and do some more damage in your economy. But he's not doing that at the moment. So he's not making units. If you're not making units, you're booming. He's not taking extra town centers either. So what is he spending his resources at? It's obvious that he's spending his resources into teching. He's going to the third age and probably to the fourth right after.
Do you agree?
Anticipating that, he needs to stabilize the economy, stabilize his position on the map, and do the same himself. In Mythic, he wins because of Osiris. So his goal now is get Mythic as fast as he can.
Good. And you know, I'm looking at it now. He does have a safe gold mine there, and one more behind his well to the right. Now, do you agree with what Mista just mentioned, Lorenzo? Or do you have something else in mind?
I wouldn't have played the way Count is currently playing, but I agree with that. Right now, in this situation, that would be the best course of action to take. I mean, he has the potential to get a really nice straight route. If you look to the left, it appears to me like that's completely walled off by water. Additionally, his second large gold mine is slightly out of the base, but barely out of his base, so it's pretty safe. So that's like a natural way to expand your army and make units over there. And that also indirectly depends your possible markets and trade route. So I would actually have liked to see him just go heroic and then just make a lot of mid units and just push. Actually, that's what I wanted him to see do instead of like do this strategy. Like, he has a lot of farms. These are just a lot of farms, and the town center is not empowered, by the way. So he's empowering the armory. I don't know what he's doing. Anyway, that's not really the point. That's more like minor things that are mechanically based, not really strategically based. And I don't really agree with the strategy. I think he's very late in like everything. His heroic time is very late. I think he will be able to go mythic pretty much immediately after this though, so that's like a plus, but you can do all this faster. It just seems like he's playing suboptimally, that he doesn't have down how many farms he needs, what upgrades he needs at what time. His farm placement is also truly terrible. As I just mentioned, the priest is empowering the armory for like the past I don't know how many minutes. This Tartarian gate is going to do a lot of damage right now. I don't really agree with the way how he is playing.
Oh, he's lucky. Oh, okay, never mind. A lot of the spawns went right side of the wall, so they're like wasted. Now,
Yeah.
the
That's
really
pretty
important error from
Armycore.
not for Armycore, and basically that's Armycore mistake, yes, but the biggest mistake is not Armycore's. It's on Counts. He doesn't have the Rhino upgrade. He should have had that earlier, and also his Parao was not there to deal with the spawns. And obviously, what Lorenzo mentioned, he's late on everything. At this right moment, he should be going mythic as well. Like, there's no reason for him so behind economically.
Now, I just want to mention here something real quick. For everybody watching the stream, you may think it's lagging. It's not. I haven't dropped any frames since I started streaming here, except for the beginning. as I was fiddling with the options, but it has not lagged. If it is lagging for you, that's because the quality settings are very high. It's streamed at 60 FPS 1080p at 4000 bits. If you can't watch the stream, I suggest you watch the video after it's uploaded. Thanks for watching. Okay, so back to the game here. So we see Axeman and Slingers. Is he spending too much food on this, or should he be going Mythic?
I think it's over, to be honest.
And what's he doing with his scarabs here? Is he going to do a heroic push, maybe?
If he's gonna do that, that's the easiest way to immediately lose this game.
Biggest mistake is not handling his macro very well.
Yeah,
Macro
he's
was
macroing
really
very
poor.
poorly.
I mean, at this point, Count has a gold mine that is untouched, and he only has 7 villagers gathering gold. The rest of the villagers are gathering wood.
Yeah, Count just played this really poorly. There's not really much to add. He just played this poorly. Yeah, I don't know what else to say.
He's gonna do a Swift Sun strategy on Armycore base, but I doubt he's gonna do the damage that he. Yeah, well.
Yeah, it's not gonna do much.
Oh,
Well,
he's
it's
researching
not-
Titan Gate. Do you think he'll make it in time? He might make it in time. Let's see. He doesn't have
No, I don't
Eclipse, so
think he will.
No.
he needs to put
if
his
he
third
marked
scarab on the
scarab,
TC.
He could have killed it in time, but now he didn't.
There was a good chance that he could have done it in time.
But it doesn't really matter. I mean, now if he killed it in time, then the Armycore wouldn't have. Armycore would have 800 food, 800 wood, and 800 gold extra. Now he doesn't have that extra gold, and he can't really place Titan Gate somewhere. Well, actually, he can place it in the middle.
So perhaps it was strategic for Count not to destroy the town center while he was researching Titan Gate. That way he has spent resources that he can't use.
Yeah.
Well, he doesn't know in what town center he is researching the Titan Gate, obviously.
But you know what? It's very smart. He's got a sky passage because he knew Count had shifting sands. What do you think of the use here? Because I know
I
they're
think
very
he
expensive, aren't they?
I think he could have used it better on the Titan Gate as it was about to be built, and that he would just immediately take it down by shifting sands as soon as Armycore placed the Titan Gate. That's what I think he should have done, but he decided to go for this. I don't think this is a good idea. But to be honest, he was pretty far behind anyway, and I think he knew that as well. So
Personally,
yeah.
I think Armycore was more prepared than Ritu was, because Armycore clearly never makes sky passages unless in this situation.
Well, it's a different map. Let's not forget that. On
It
water you
is.
can do a lot more stuff.
But I'm saying in relation, you never see sky passages being built on this kind of map.
Yeah, that was a pretty good move from Armycore. I have to admit, it was pretty smart.
Where's the other sky passage? I don't see it.
It's
middle.
at his third town center. Oh well, fourth technically because he took it last. But
Oh, he has 3 of them. Okay.
As soon as Armycore stabilizes this situation, he's gonna make the Titan Gate, and then the game is pretty much over. There's nothing Count can do, and I'm pretty sure that if you check the resources that both player has right now, let me do a little check really fast.
yeah, I already did. It's like very much in the advantage of Armycore.
Yes. And the main point is that Von Count is not mythic yet, and he's making more farms. I don't know why he's making farms. He needs more gold.
I think, you know what I'm thinking here, is Count thinks he may be able to win this in a messy game. But he can't win no matter what happens, because Armycore clearly has 3 sky passages, and he can just jump from place to place to place. So it's not like playing against Ritu here, where he ends up winning because the game is so messy, and he's just all over the place. Here, Armycore was prepared, and it seems to be working out for him. Do you agree?
Yeah, it's over now.
Uh,
Well, to be honest, it was over a while ago, but with the shifting sands, you never know. But yeah, it's GG.
He is
Mainly
going
the point
Osiris,
that-
though.
Mainly the point, yeah, he's son of Osiris, but he doesn't have a Pharaoh, and he's gonna lose his main TC really soon. All those destroyers are going in for the kill. His main mistake was doing messy build order. His build order was messy. I mean, he wasn't supposed to do all these errors while being at dealing with no pressure. He was dealing with no pressure from Armycore, so he should have dealt order a lot better. It's just a game that we're just expecting to finish. I mean, I don't see any way that Count can win this. Cyrus. Those Dryads, main TC of Armycore, they're just killing every Dryads. He might not even make it. He's gonna probably. Nah, he might even lose the TC before Mythic. And this army is going to kill him. Pharaoh is out, but if Armycore reacts fast, he can snipe him or do damage to him, and then yeah,
he's already being damaged.
He's probably gonna use it instantly. Yeah.
Yeah, so
And
that's
Pharaoh starts with
nearly
70.
100 hit points.
He's gonna go down. There's no doubt about that. Titan Gate is being placed.
And the thing is, with Armycore, he doesn't have any hack armor. So that Son of Osiris is definitely going to put in a lot of work. Look, Son of Osiris and Axeman.
Check the middle. There is 2 siege towers attacking a TC. Do you think that Armycore is gonna? Okay, he just noticed.
Yeah. Okay, well, there's a Titan Gate now. There's not much Von Count can do about that. He is researching Fortified Town Center, however.
Oh, that doesn't matter. He doesn't have that extra town center. And there's no way he can kill the Titan. I don't see a way to be able to Titan.
Yeah, he cannot kill the Titan, and he cannot set up trade with the Titan out. So it's like I said, it's over.
I can't say more. He just did a messy build order. He could have done all the, he could be at this position having an Osiris like 7 minutes earlier than he now. As long as he controlled his economy better, he could have had so much more.
I'd like to
Now
point
he's
out,
gonna come with the Sky Passage. Yeah, he just came in main TC. Yeah.
he does have quite a few Axemen, though. But
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. There's like 5 archers, and they won't die.
you know what? I want to point out a problem here for Count is that he didn't scout the left side of his map, because that's a beautiful area right there. If he just walled the middle, I think he would have been fine, because that whole left side is secured, right?
Yep.
But I noticed he never bothered scouting it, so
That's gonna go out really soon.
well, Count likes to play messy games with Raw, and look at his score; it's looking quite nice.
It's all about the shooting sounds. He just delayed the inevitable. At that point, he was really behind. I mean, you can delay a game, but you can't win it from a certain point, and then you just can't kill it because you can't kill your opponent's army. And mainly, that's the problem, that he current army cannot fight, cannot kill Armycore's army, and you will see it really, really soon.
Uh-oh, he's walking into his army here. Not very smart.
Yeah, and Son of Osiris dead before he even starts fighting. And the game is over. The map that Count had was definitely could have won it.
He seems very hesitant to resign, don't you think?
I don't know. He might think that he did some damage, but from watching, I mean, if he watched Armycore's army, the fact that Armycore is not losing units, and the fact that he's made Sabion Arcus, which has spared resources, he has all the economical upgrades, almost all actually, and he's still at 3 town centers. No way he can do anything to stop this. He doesn't even have an Osiris, and over. I think that most of the current players, this is their problem, messy games. Not only Count, a lot of players have messy games. With Uranus, it's easier to have a messy game, and when I mean messy build orders, small mistakes. Uranus is a lot easier to have this type of errors, because you invest maybe like 80% less time on your villagers, so you have more time to control your army. The build orders are easier. You instantly send your villager to a waypoint and he starts gathering. You switch from resources, from depending on the need that you want. So from wood, food, gold, wood, food, gold. So it's easier for players who play Atlantean to avoid this type of errors. But a lot of the players who play Atlantean, they lack in general strategy knowledge.
Alright, let's get this party started.
Let's get the party started. Who let the dogs out?
I actually had a nickname back in the day that said I let the dogs out.
Okay, guys. Game 2.
So this map definitely favors Armycore, I think. I don't know if TheMista agrees with that. Probably not, but I just think Mediterranean is a really good Uranus map.
Why would I not agree with you?
Now let me just do the quick introduction here real quick, guys. So on the left side we have Count Val Count. This is game 2. He's in blue. He's playing Ra. Map Mediterranean on the right. We have Armycore playing Uranus, as we see him just building a dock now. Now, I don't know too much about what Ra would do, because obviously Ra can do many things. But obviously the bottom line for Uranus is to do what he can on the water and go tight. Does that sound accurate?
He's going to make ships, win water, and from then on probably win the game. That's how these games usually pan out. Also, the reason I thought TheMista would disagree with me is because it's apparently the popular thing to do ever since this game was launched. When it comes to Mediterranean balance, pretty much 99% of people don't know what they're talking about. But I should obviously know better that TheMista does know what he's talking about, so of course he will agree with me.
The thing about this map is that it's all about the feast. I mean, Egyptians can spam a lot of dogs. So if the feasts are next to the shore, then I would maybe say that it's 55-45 for the Atlantean, because the Egyptian doesn't have to make ships and the feast, so he can easily do something else and then fight sea. It's easier for the Ra player to transition into land, because he will not fight sea. The Atlantean player will most likely age up at 4 and 38, 4 and 40, because you have that extra some delay on the villager making go for a dog. You have some idle time, so he's gonna do that 4 and 40, and then he will spam ships, anticipating to deny the feast from the Ra player. Now, if the Ra player has 2 dogs per feast, and he has some secure fish, just like the ones that Account has at the moment. Do you see the fish?
Yeah, they're very
Yeah,
secure.
this is pretty nice fish for Count on Count currently. Let's
Yeah.
hope that he also has that fish like a little bit to the top. If he could have 3 dogs protecting 3 spots like this, that would be very nice for him.
Yeah, so he can actually water by, of course, micro. You need a lot of micro to put them out, and in. That requires a lot of micro, and you need to always pay attention so that he won't snipe your fish. And he can do a really fast DC. Invest the resources that the Atlanteans spend it in sea into a really fast DC. Make a really fast rain, and then transition make a rain with like 10 villagers on farms, and then make villagers on wood and gold only, and go back to the sea. If he has a lot of dogs, he can easily balance the production of the ships, and then he can win back the sea.
Yeah, but what if Armycore like catches wind that he's not really going to fight for sea and just spams fishing boats after only a few arrow ships? Then what? Then Armycore's still gonna be ahead in economy and he can do the same thing.
Well, the thing is that fishing ships without economical upgrades, they are not that good. We both know that. They're actually really bad, especially when Armycore has this type of fish. His fish are really far away from his dogs. So it's like, tell me, if you had 5 villagers on farming with rain, would you prefer those 5 villagers with rain, or would you prefer 5 fishing ships?
Well, statistically, obviously, the villages are going to be better, but you can still get Persine in classical age. I mean, and
Yeah, no, but
I don't think
he's gonna make 4 ships, at least 4 ships, right?
Yeah, true, but I don't think that his fish is that far away. You said his fish was very far away. I don't think it's that bad, actually. I think it's kind of equal, this map.
At the time being, it's not that equal. I mean, if we check the gatherings, I wish we could see how much food he gathered from fish only. Well,
now, do you think that they're both going to be fighting here in classical age, or do you think Ra is probably going to do a semi-fast heroic here?
I think that the Ra is gonna take a TC up, and you can see that by the amount of villagers on gold. Just keeps villagers for food to production. Doesn't have a monument, which is really bad. I think he forgot the monument again.
Yeah, if you forget that again, that's gonna be really bad.
When you need the monument at like 3 minutes to have the favor to make 3 farms, and he doesn't have pigs. Pay attention to that as well. He doesn't have pigs, and that's really bad. Have had pigs.
Yeah, I'm surprised. Usually you'd get at least 5 pigs here.
But the thing is that he has a hand. I don't know where he's going. He's gonna try and take the forward to see. I don't know if I necessarily agree with that, but I guess he secures a gold mine, and I agree.
He didn't scout his back TC,
Oh,
as we can see. The only reason it's revealed is because of the Oranos line of sight bonus.
Do you see how many ships Armycore made?
Yeah, I think that's a little bit too many. Honestly, I would have stopped after maybe 6 max. And I think he has 8. Yeah.
He has 8 and he's making 2 more.
That's too many, isn't it?
Yeah,
if it was me, I would have my oracles. But actually, he keeps his oracles back for Pharaoh. But what I would do, keep 2 oracles on the sides of the shore, next to the shore. If I don't see a Pharaoh coming, then I push my oracles forward to hit town centers. If I see a Pharaoh coming, I push back all my oracles.
He is still making ships, but he's also grabbing a town center.
Yeah, Oranos players can do that.
Well, he stopped products for a little bit, but I mean, he's still making ships, as in, I think that's not a good idea.
Still no monument. Oh, there's the monument. But I don't like the gold mine placement from an account. I don't know why he's doing that all games. I mean, why would you put the houses next to the gold mine? Just keep them more to the right, so that you can put the villagers in between the gold mine. Or even make the gold mine from the top side, that it's not that efficient, so that at least 5 villagers are in front of the gold mine.
He has 2 villages in his tower. Do you think that's on purpose? I don't think it is.
I think that he did it by mistake and he hasn't realized it yet. He should the idle bottom. I mean, that happened on Anatolia as well. Do you remember when he
Yep.
blocked 5 villagers next to the wood? And I was like, look what he did.
Yeah.
Yeah, he still did it and garrison them. I don't know. It's just that Count's mechanics seems to be like 300 points lower than what it normally is in the last game and this game.
Yeah, I'm not
He
sure what's
only
going
has
on.
3
He's
dogs.
got 2 in the tower. Does he notice that?
No, he didn't. And the thing is that not only that, he has a second down center, but he's not making villagers from that down.
But let's be honest here. Overall, Count is playing okay. He's
No,
got
not
he's
really.
got 2 TCs. Armycore's got 2 TCs. Their scores look right about okay.
Obvious that that Count is not playing something that he comfortable with. I mean, Count is playing like his strategy well thought, but the execution is not that good. I mean, by now with the strategy that he made, he should have had 10 farms.
Idle
Plus the
villages
villagers.
at town center.
So he would have had rain now and block that shockwave. Now he's losing a lot of ships and he's not microing the low HP ships of Armycore. I mean, there's so many ships with Armycore with half HP. There's
Yeah.
6 ships that have half the HP.
Still has idle villages at his town center for the past minute or something, and those
the
2
two
villages
villagers.
still in the watchtower for like 4 minutes, 3 minutes maybe.
I just think, has Count been practicing this strategy, or
He just told me that he's gonna do that. He had never practiced this. That is his mistake. He only practiced land.
Still has idle villages at his town center.
Yeah, I know. And his production is going down. I mean, he has 14 idle villagers. Those 14 idle villagers are idle for like a minute. If they were gathering, and he's going to gather from the unsafe gold mine. Gathering from the gold mine that is not safe. He has some idle boats. He has 3 boats that are not fighting. And those 3 boats can change the tide of the battle. The naval warfare, he can actually change that. That's 2 extra boats are so important in this small number of fights.
Well,
Absolutely.
good news. He finally ungarrisoned his villages from the watchtower.
Also, I want to point out a really big mistake that Armycore does. We only talk about
Count?
count mistakes, but I want you to check the 3rd town center of Armycore. It hasn't made a villager for 2 minutes. He has it since the 8th minute, and it hasn't made a single villager.
Wow.
I
Yeah.
started.
Yeah, he
would
should have done
had
that.
4 villagers by now extra.
That's massive. Looks like Count is going for his 3rd TC, is it?
Another big mistake from Armycore. He doesn't have hand axe.
Ah, that's unfortunate.
He just realized he wasn't making villages, and now he is. This is the town center of Armycore.
Yeah, but he could have had 5 villagers by now, and 5 villagers means max villagers, max supply
Yeah,
of
true.
villagers.
I agree that it's a mistake. He should have paid more attention.
And now it's time for one count to lose the sea. If it was me, I would not fight sea for the rain. Like, you just want to keep fighting sea, because as soon as you rain, you don't really need. With Plo, 2 priests on the town centers. Actually, I prefer a pharaoh on the main. And husbandry, rain, you overcome the fish economy by a lot.
Look at this overwhelming battle on the sea here.
That's what I mean when you need more dogs. Imagine if there were 3 dogs in that
Corner.
small zone, 3 dogs, and Count just rammed in the dog in the corner and forced the Armycore. If Armycore wanted to force a fight, he would have to fight in between those dogs. That would give a huge advantage.
Armycore is like 10 idle villages.
Yeah, Armycore had 9, almost
Yeah,
10
now
idle
he's
villagers.
moving them. He is at max villages though, plus he has C.
Well, he has C, but he's only gathering 3 fishing ships. So he doesn't actually have C. I mean, Count is gathering with more fishing ships than Armycore at the moment. And
Twice as much.
But the thing is that Count at the moment, he forgot to make the walls. So Armycore's army is coming and he's gonna ram that gold mine. And he doesn't even have a barrack or a tower to protect. Fortunately for him, Armycore doesn't know about that gold mine. Not yet though. Now the units are coming and there's nothing that...
Yeah, those ships are going to be pretty annoying.
Well, you don't necessarily need the ships because the Egyptian player will probably make only slingers. Needs the food to age up. So if he had a good amount of slingers, let's be realistic. It's at the 13th mark. So he should have a lot more than what he actually has. Armycore is going heroic and he will mark it and instantly go mythic. While Count is...
I want to see Count win at this game here. So what are his viable strategies at this point? I don't want to know what his chances are of winning. I want to know which strategies he can execute right now.
There's 3 things that he can do.
Okay.
At least what comes into my mind. First thing is secure land and do a good shifting sand attack with Son of Osiris and Scarabs. With like 10 villagers, take the TC, make barracks and through with Armycore directly on his gold mine. The other one is get mythic and get a titan.
Right.
I mean, he doesn't have the favor for that, so he needs to make the monuments right now in order to achieve that. The last option is secure his base, secure the gold mines, and go for a late game. As you can see in the bottom side, he can actually take that side with some really good wallings and take the side and secure a trade there, and you can have a maximum trade.
He can try, but he's got an oracle there. But
Yeah,
I understand your
go
point.
with an army, make a Migdol, make a temple, make 1 engineering shop and 2 barracks. By that time, he will already build them before the Armycore's army comes.
Right.
Armycore has made some seed ships with that he, as soon as he goes mythic, he's gonna try and kill the town center, the top town center of Counts. So Count needs to make some docks. Actually, he needs a lot of docks.
Now, I just want to mention here quickly, it looks like we have a shifting sands incoming, and this time Armycore is not prepared.
No, he is.
Well, he doesn't have any sky passages, and his army is
It's
in.
not that. He has a wall that will prevent the citizen.
He has a.
No
I
place.
feel like Count von Count should try to kind of secure his gold with like towers and walls, and then he should secure water so he doesn't lose his town center to the siege ships, and then he should find a way to kill this Titan gate before it gets completed, and then he should find a way to set up a very large trade route so we can do the basic Egyptian stuff with mercenaries and towers. And whether that's possible or not is another story entirely, but that's what he has to do, I think.
It's gonna be really hard. I mean, Armycore has heavy infantry. He's gonna ram the top town center really fast, and there's nothing that Count has to deal with that. No units. He's just aiming for a fast Titan. Going Horus to deny the Titan gate of Armycore, but I don't think that will work. Doesn't have access to land in order to go there. He's gonna lose his town center really soon. He's not going Osiris, he's going Horus.
Horus. That's weird. What do you do as Horus? Why do you think he chose Horus?
For the tornado, I
guess-
think.
He either will try to kill the Titan gate, or he will try to do a shifting sand, Horus another town center, and try to take down the Titan gate. Or he will try to shift sand all his army onto the trees in order to take the trees and then cast Horus on the gate.
He can also just run his fishing ships to the shore. I mean,
Yeah, he can.
and then he can use
obviously
shifting
do
sands, and then he can use Horus Tornado.
I noticed Count built some more docks down there in that corner that Mista was talking about. He's got 4 idle fishing boats, and he's still fishing with 2.
thing is that there's nothing Khan can do at the moment. I mean,
You don't think so?
losing villagers on the bottom gold mine. He only has 1 gold mine, and that gold mine has 3 villagers. Safe one. Gathering scarabs in base, probably going for Switzerland.
And
My best bet is, he already has a fishing boat. Armycore's base in order to do that swifting hunt. But there's nothing to swift. He doesn't have an army. As soon as Armycore sends his army there, it's over.
If you were in Mythic as Horus, Mista, would you be making Avengers or Scarabs as he's doing now?
I would you just need 2 scarabs.
Okay, here we go. What do you think, Lorenzo? Do you think he's going to make some damage here?
Too quickly.
Yeah,
he shifts it too quickly.
does it. Now we have the same situation as last game. Armycore is gonna take down the DC. Yeah, even if he kills the town centers, he's losing all sides. He's losing from all sides. There's no side that he can stand the army. He doesn't have an army, he doesn't have an infrastructure to create units, he doesn't have an economy. He will just lose from the amount of army that Armycore has in his base.
So I'll be the first one to say it. These 2 games were really bad, to be honest. Really unenjoyable. I think that's what everyone is thinking, but nobody wants to say it. I mean, these were really shitty games.
No, this game is far from over, I think. He just snapped himself 2 TCs.
You have to be on all sorts of drugs to think that this is not over.
I mean, take a moment.
Well,
and think
listen to this.
Armycore has 1 TC, okay? He has 1 TC, but he's gonna take the top TC. He's making a sky passage, and he's gonna take all the villagers there.
What he's going to do, okay, he's going to take his whole military to the other side, and he's going to freely mine on that gold mine. You see that? And Count has his main TC and his back TC beautifully placed. All he needs is a nice wall right here. Wall
He's
in
not
his
gonna
2
take a TC on
TCs.
the top. That's the thing. Armycore has sky passages. His army can travel to places. Yes, he took the main TC, but he's gonna lose it really, really fast. He doesn't have a gold. Like the bottom TC is not even gonna be prepared. It's never gonna be ready. And all these destroyers are gonna kill the main TC of the main TC that Count took from Armycore. And the most important thing, Count doesn't have an economy. He literally doesn't have an economy. He's not gathering anything. I mean, he only gathered food, but if you check the amount of villagers that he has no villagers. Where is his villagers? He has 20 on gold, like 25 on food.
Also has an idle Pharaoh.
Yeah, Pharaoh idle. Now check this. He's making a Migdol. What are you going to make from a Migdol to kill those destroyers? So he's gonna lose the TC. Just made the. Oh no! Why did he do that? Okay, he can merce. Yeah, he can merce. If he manages to.
He needs to put the mercs on the destroyers, so, and repair the TC before he loses it. Where's his Pharaoh?
He's not repairing. He's making a Migdol. That's really bad. He's gonna lose the TC no matter what. There's 7 destroyers. There's no way he should have made it instantly. If he made it instantly, it would be alive. But now it's dead. If he made it instantly, this TC would be alive. And if this TC would be alive, then Armycore would have to fight with 15 units. Armycore can't make any more units.
But I don't think Count wanted to hold this area. He just wanted to distract him. Because look at Count now. He secured his base. He secured his end. Left end.
But there's the thing. He could have holded the area. Armycore can't make a big army. Mainly because he doesn't have the town centers. He has a really good economy. I'm 100% sure of that.
He's probably got 10,000 resources stacked, doesn't he?
He has 1,000 food, 1,000 wood, and 500 gold, which is okay, I guess. Not as good as I thought. But with like his army was 5 Arcos and 7 destroyers. He couldn't make more army because he's max villagers and he has ships. He has the fishing ships, so he can't really make.
You can't
an
make
army.
much military with only 2 TCs.
Yeah, but he has some really good upgrades. If you check the upgrades, he has champion Arcus, champion Mirmilo.
And he has the iron
That's why his
shields.
economy isn't that great. On the other hand, the Ra player Count has no upgrades. Not a single one. Only medium slinger and medium maximum.
Yeah, that's really gonna. I think that's where he's gonna lose, because his military is just not strong enough. Although, you know, I've seen it happen. Count has won many games just by playing messy.
Well, not in Mediter or Watering Hole. On Anatolia you can play Messi, but not in these maps.
Well, that's because he's got his what do they call that? It's because Armycore built those sky passages.
I mean, he should anticipate that. I mean, Armycore is Uranos. Why wouldn't he use sky passages for things like that?
That's true, and I haven't seen them used before, except for very rare cases in team games. But I've never seen them used before in 1v1. That's for sure.
They're actually mini underworlds, really good from applying pressure from many points or defending areas that are really hard to go back at. Now, as soon as Armycore secured his area, he will just pick the Titan. I don't think Count will stay in game for that long. I think that he's gonna resign really soon. Armycore is almost full upgrades, military upgrades.
Any
he has a lot of army.
Any comments there, Lorenzo?
Yeah, no, it's been over for a while now. I don't really have anything to add, except that Count should probably get out of the game. But I understand it though, like it's his second game. If he loses this, he's out of the tournament, I think.
That's correct,
So,
yeah.
So I understand that he's not in a rush to resign and try everything. But from a realistic point of view, like his odds of winning,
Well,
they
I
are
mean,
very,
the
very,
stakes are
very
high
low.
here. Okay, you gotta think about it. If Count loses this game, he's out of the tournament. He's finished. He's done. He's out.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So
Right.
I understand that he wants to stay in the game and try as much as possible, but obviously we are not that invested, so we can make an objective analysis about the state of the game. And like I said, his chances of winning at this point are so small, they are pretty much negligible.
Basically, the only way that he can win is if Armycore goes to take a dump and he gets himself there. And he just stays in there. He can't unleash the Kraken, he just stays in there. He's like, "Argh!"
All right.
That will give Count a chance.
So any comments on those Avengers then?
Not really. I mean, they're good, but not when you're so much behind. I mean, they're good at early mid game. Really good at early mid game.
Very well done for both players, and good job for Count to reaching this far into the tournament. Very
Now
well
it's
done.
me against Armycore.
And guys, for everybody who's watching right now, we are having our commentator right now, TheMista, versus Armycore in the next stage for the semi-final. Mista, now that you're here with us, what are your comments and what's happening here? What's going on? Do you think you'll win?
Armycore, not that good. Plays Uranus. I mean, everyone who plays Uranus have a bed full of roses. Because it's easy. Like being a man and having money, and you have a lot of money, it's easy to get laid. But you can't have a quality rate. Quality late. Being quality late. Find the quality in the late.
Right.
So he has a chance winning a map on a really imbalanced and unfair phone, but I doubt he can win me in a straight-up game with a fair map, even though he plays Uranus.
Yeah, obviously he's going to be playing Uranos every single match.
When are you guys gonna play TheMista?
Probably Sunday or Saturday. One of those two.
Now,
Why
have
don't you play right now?
We can't play right now. I haven't prepared.
Yeah, no, he needs lots of preparing. I mean, you can't just play just whenever you feel like it. You need to make sure, you know, you've studied it, you know.
Now the thing is that Armycore has no idea what I can play. I can play Uranos, I can play Set, I can play Zeus. He only knows
I
how to
guess it
play
makes
Uranos.
sense.
So he has to prepare against 3 gods.
3 gods. How about Thor? He used to play Norse as well.
I might play Loki, but I doubt I'm gonna try Loki. I don't want to play Norse. I mean, at the moment, I won't say that my Atlantean feels uncomfortable. They're really comfortable. They're just boring. I get really bored with Atlantean. Like I can play one game, and in the next one, I'll play with like 100 APM less, and I'll smoke something and drink my coffee, and I will just watch while I have my feet on the table and just like the mouse. Still play at the same level my other gods. But I will probably play either Set, Zeus, or Uranus. I mean, I don't think that if I have the right practice, I don't think that he can win me in a straight up Uranus war. Mainly because I'm a lot faster than him. I'm not way more, but I'm a lot more strategical than him. He makes a lot of dumb mistakes. Mistakes that I don't do. And obviously, he lost to Giovan.
To who?
Giovan.
Oh, Giovan, yes.
Jovan. The
Yeah.
Brazilian.
Right, well, I wish you luck against TheMista this weekend.
He lost to Dudu as well, but never mind.
Or perhaps, I mean, versus Armycore. But now, overall, just to cap up here, just to finish it, what would you have done as a Count? What was his main problem? Just forgetting Monument, playing sloppy. What was his main problem in game 1 and then game 2? Go ahead, Mr.
I'm gonna give you a full, fast analysis of both games, if you want, of course. Like what I would have done in game 1 and game 2. From what Count scouted.
Sure. Yeah, just give us a quick analysis, perhaps.
Yeah. So first game,
Yeah.
he sees the map, he has a plan in his mind, and he does that, okay? He sees that Switzerland is not doable, even though he could have done it, mainly because Armycore didn't do a 430, so it was easy for him to just run with Pharaoh and go straight for the TC. Straight for the TC. Because the TC was going to be on the left. He saw the right side, and he saw that there was a wall on the left, so he was protected. He was there. Go straight for the TC, and there was no way Armycore could have prevented the Switzerland. That was the first thing that I would have done, mainly because of the age up from Armycore. Then I would, as soon as I saw the TC, I know that I have to play more economically and less army-wise. I would make my buildings in a place that I can protect the left side. Obviously, scout the left side with my Wadjet. The Wadjet was idle for a big period of time. Make the walls, get the 2 TCs as fast as I can. Keep 8 villagers on wood. Make 6 slingers at the start. Take the economical upgrades. Get faster. Get the rain. Get as soon as fast as I can go mythic with Son of Osiris.
Right.
Maintain the middle. Get the Titan and win.
Now, this was on the watering hole game you're suggesting,
Yes.
correct? Right.
Yes.
Now, Count is capable of doing such things, but he was just playing a little bit sloppy.
Yes.
Got it. Now, game 2 obviously was Mediterranean, and we've seen Count just all over the place here. What's your quick analysis on how Count should have played on Mediterranean?
So, the first thing that he scouted was the fish. He sees the fish. He knows that if he makes a lot of dogs, he can protect the fish. There's nothing that can harm the fish as long as you do proper micro in and out. So he's like, okay, I can protect my fish without making galleys. I'll take a quick second town center. All this by doing a 4 and 45 build order, so that you can mistake your opponent and make him think that you are going for galleys. Take the TC. By the time your opponent realizes that you took a TC, he started taking his TC. That's when you transition into LAD. But at the same time, you do a fast rain strategy. You just need 8 to 10 villagers on rain. But by doing that, you need to take that monument fast and keep 3 villagers on wood to take the wood upgrade and husbandry. As soon as you do that, you switch into the sea. You keep fighting him in sea, but you have the farms. You had the rain, you have extra food, so you will get heroic faster. Make the walls, make some extra barracks, get into heroic, take your third town center, which is the back town center, and it's safe. You don't necessarily need that really early. And at that time, secure both sides, get mythic, and either do a really good swifting sand attack with Scarab Siege and Son of Osiris, or get your Titan. If he did all these things, he could have won.
That's very good advice. And I just want to mention to everybody here watching the stream, if you have any questions for TheMista, please ask. He is currently the best player playing AoT, which can be argued, but he is considered to be the best player right now playing the game. So if you have questions, go ahead and ask. So I want to ask you, Lorenzo, would you like to give your quick analysis on Game 1 and Game 2? First being the water hole.
Count from count. Very poorly played.
For the water hole game first, please. So poorly played, sloppy. Yeah. What else?
Yeah, that's mostly it. He played sloppy. He didn't really try to set up trade. He was all over the place. He was playing very messy, but as we know, Count likes to play very messy. But honestly, I don't think he really delivered on just the mechanics. For example, the priest empowering the armory for so long instead of the town center that had 15 farms, and the farms that were incorrectly placed. He had too many farms. He didn't have enough on gold, too much on wood.
So I want to ask you then.
Strategy, etc., etc.
I want to ask you in this case. So other than his sloppy play, was the strategy that he wanted to execute, was it a correct strategy?
In the first game?
Yes.
I think he should have just focused on setting up trade instead of doing what he did. And I don't really know what he was trying to do, so it's hard to say if he did the correct strategy or not, because he was playing everything so suboptimally. He may actually have tried to do the correct strategy, but just messed it up in the execution. I don't know that, because it didn't really look like anything. He could have gone a 2 town center fast mythic with the Son of Osiris and then just either go Titan himself or try to push in with the with the catapults and the Son of Osiris, obviously, and maybe the mummy in the back. That would have been very effective as well, but he should have done that much quicker. I think he was heroic at 30 minutes or something.
And what would you have done instead on Game 2?
On Game 2, what I would have done, I don't really know how to win that matchup as Ra at all, so I just don't have
obviously don't know forgetting the monument was a problem. You don't have any suggestions in terms of just walling off the sides of the Mediterranean there. Obviously that was a mistake from him. Any other big mistakes he made?
Yeah, I can painstakingly point out everything he did wrong with the villagers idle in the watchtower, the 14 villagers idle at the town center, the villager that was building houses being idle for 3 minutes, etc., etc. But those are just mechanic mistakes, just as walling off. That's just something you have to remember, and you have to do the clicks to do that. That's not really what I'm getting at. What I'm saying is that I don't know of a strategy that can win against Oranos on that map consistently. I just don't know how to win it, and whatever he was doing, he didn't execute it correctly, so I cannot really comment on that. He just played really, really shitty.
Right. Okay, guys, well, that's all we have. Of course, that was the quarterfinal, and we're going to have TheMista versus Armycore playing, hopefully on the weekend, he said. So we definitely look forward to that. And we have Armycore here on the line, but he needs to fix his microphone. Armycore, are you with us?
Yeah, but his microphone is muted, so...
All right. So now, in terms of Armycore's play, now we talked about Count's play for both games, right? And which we thought was, fascinating. How he was a bit lousy. We understood that, but the Oranos play on both games, I want to hear it. Game one, game two. What happened on game one? Did the Oranos play correctly? Go ahead, TheMista.
Oh, what? Sorry, I wasn't paying attention. Can you
So
repeat the
I'm
question?
asking for game one, game two. We want to talk about the Oranos player now. Did he play correctly on game one, Watering Hole?
Armycore had a plan and he executed it really, really good. I really like the way he placed the walls and the buildings. Maybe he needed to make that extra wall or building next to the wall that Count's Pharaoh ramped in his base. That was the only build order and building placing mistake that he made. But overall, he was close to perfect for the start of the game. Then he gave a lot of data for Count to react. I mean, it was obvious what he was planning to do, and what he was planning to do, he did it as good as he could do it. The only thing in the late game was a bit faster sky passage. I mean, he saw that Count wasn't advancing into Mythic. He didn't have a trade. His gold mine was forward and on the right side, and he wasn't really gathering from it. So and we all know Count for his gimmicky things. So if he made a bit of a faster iron sky passage, he would be able to send his units on top of the Swift Suns and crush the army at the time that he lost the first town center. Maybe even cancel the Titan. If he canceled the Titan, he would have that economical boost in his storehouse, in his bank, in order to spend the resources better, because at that point it was obvious that he couldn't use the Titan. There was no place for him to place the Titan. So if he had those resources in the bank, like plus 200 and 400 resources and 50 favor, he could have used those resources into upgrades or more buildings or more units.
Thank you very much for your comments. Now, Lorenzo, you agree with TheMista? I mean, he would have canceled the Titan Gate. Overall, Oranos played properly. Would you have done something different?
As the Oranos player?
Yes, in game one.
No. What I actually noticed is that Armycore kind of holds off into placing the Titan Gate, whereas the conventional way to do that is just you research Titan Gate, you place it immediately between two Hesperidas trees. But Armycore seems to hold off on the Titan Gate, which is I think is kind of peculiar. I don't really know why he does that. Obviously, if the enemy has Tornado and Shifting Sands, you want to be a bit cautious. But even after that, he didn't seem too keen on doing it. So I would have definitely done that much faster. For example, in the Mediterranean game, I would have placed down my Titan Gate immediately after getting it researched.
Okay.
All right, everybody.
Okay, so we have Armycore on the line now, guys, and of course Armycore was just playing, and he's going to give us his comments. I'm going to ask him some questions, so we're definitely looking forward to that. So Armycore, it's good to have you with us.
Good to be here.
Excellent. So Armycore, what happened in game one? I mean, you knew what you wanted to execute. Did you know what he was going to do? What were you expecting? What's going on here?
I was training that matchup and that map particularly with Adafang the other day, as it turns out. What I wanted to do was a two-town center.
That's
really
what you wanted to do.
When you get an economy that's that good. However, I figured I would scout it out just to see what he was doing. I noticed with the forward order call he had 10, I believe, villagers on food and no upgrades, which means he's doing an all-in rush. I assumed he was advancing very quickly, so I had to wall up. Chose not to pick up the second town center because I wanted the resources to defend if I needed to. But after he failed to take any villagers or anything like that, it was basically just pick up economy.
That was a very good assumption for you to think that he was going to do an all-in rush with that shifting sands that he did on Watering Hole, because he didn't have any upgrades, and obviously that's what he was investing in.
Yes, exactly. Too easy to read.
Right. Yeah, I figured that. Now, do you
If
think?
he got hunting dogs, it would have been a little more difficult to read, of course. He should have done that.
Yeah, I think hunting dogs would have been nice because he did have two other elephants. But anyway, great. So now speaking of how Count played, obviously he was playing sloppy, and you were just. How did you prepare for what he was going to do? Did you make the sky passages where you weren't sure? Usually you don't make them.
No, I made the sky passages in response to what he was doing. I didn't make them before, although I assumed he was going to try something like that. Because in both
Okay.
games he hadn't used his shifting sands early, which basically means he's going to try something later. The games versus the redo were very telling. I figured that was exactly what he was going to do.
I noticed your base was very contained. Like it was, you walled it nicely. You had your buildings very close in together. What's that? What's that symbolize? What is that for? What is that a
Well,
response
basically,
for?
one of the problems with playing against Egypt is they have a very strong late game, but they also have a very strong rush if they choose to. Like, Ices and Set can do sort of a priest rush sort of a thing at 4 minutes. Ra can do a shifting sands attack. Either way, you want to defend your base really well. Limits their mobility.
Very good.
And everybody's copying me. TheMista's copying me doing that now, by the way. I watch.
Excellent. And then game two, what were you expecting from Count? You just played it off and just did what you knew, or did you have anything else in mind?
You know, I actually assumed he was going to be villager rushing. I didn't think he would pick up a second 10 center early. I played again versus Edifang and Hell's Ravage. Both of them villager rushed me, so I figured that map is really hard for Ra to win on. I don't think Ra really has much of a chance there, apart from villager rush. So when he didn't do it, it was over.
Well, I must tell you, very well played there in both games, of course. And now that you beat Count, you're going to be playing against the famous TheMista, who's here with us right now, on the
Looking
weekend.
forward to it.
So you're looking forward to it. So what comments do you have for TheMista?
Well, first of all, I just want to respond to something Lorenzo said.
Okay.
He mentioned about the placement of the Titan Gate. I didn't place it immediately because in the first game, I figured I didn't need it. So I figured I'd win without it. And in the second game, I also figured I didn't need it. However, if you don't place a Titan Gate, I know he advanced Tornado. So if you don't place it, you know he's going to be saving it for Tornado. He might shave the shifting sands as well. So it's basically, if I don't place the Titan Gate, it kind of puts him into an ultimatum. Either he uses his God powers and then I can place the Titan Gate freely, or he never uses the God powers and it's much easier for me to win.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Very good. So on to the comments now against your opponent, TheMista.
It's been a year and 3 or 4 months since we played, I believe.
So what is it going to be? Are you confident? Do you think you will win this?
Yeah, I'll win easily.
You will win easily. Okay. TheMista, what's your response to that?
I like that. I like that.
Mista, you're projecting. You said it's a best out of 5, so you're projecting a what? 3-1. What are you thinking here?
The chances for me to have a totally unfair map is 1 in 5. So I predict a 3-1.
3-1, and Armycore, you're predicting
It'll be 3-0.
3-0. Okay. Well, we
I
definitely
am
look for.
realistic, you're not.
Okay, guys. So I'm going to turn down the stream now. Thanks for watching, and there you go. I hope you enjoyed. Take care now.